Intro music.
Come on in.
A star for the ages for Tony Gwynn, number 3,000.
They have acquired Eric Johnson and Fernando Tatis Jr. from the White Sox in exchange for James Shield.
Welcome to Slam Diego!
My name is James.
My name is Joey.
And this is the Brothers Padre.
James, how are you?
I don't know what to say. That was a different intro. I'm not saying I hated it.
Yeah, just different.
Yeah, I'm but the person who has to edit this later, I'll let you know next week if I hated it or not.
Yeah. James, another week in Padres baseball.
Yeah, most games we've ever played in a 7-game stretch, I think.
Yeah. I was pleasantly pleased by this week, James.
Yes, it was. We both predicted 6-2.
Yes. And I'm curious to see how it goes, good fellow.
Yes, I also curious, like I don't already know. All right, are you ready for a recap? The week of June the 10th starts Friday. The Rockies came to town, and then the Padres promptly beat them 9-0. Joe Musgrove, see if you've ever heard this before. Quality start. 6 innings pitch, 8 strikeouts. I mean, at this point, what else can you say about Joe Musgrove other than, okay, clearly he's the best starter in baseball. Jake Cronenworth had a 3-run home run. And the thing that I noticed about this particular game that encouraged me was the bottom of our lineup produced. Kim got a hit. Mazzaro got a hit. Trent got a hit. It was encouraging to see the bottom of our lineup start to heat up. Maybe that will come into a bigger deal later on the week. So that was game 1. Game 2, the first of the scheduled doubleheader. Padres won 2-1. Nick Martinez pitched 5.2 innings. He struck out 9, only giving up a run. The Rockies did make him throw a lot of pitches, though. They were foul. They must have fouled off 1,000 pitches from him, it looked like. It was ridiculous. But our bullpen came in and shut them down. And that was great. Game 2, on the other hand, we lost 6-2. Mackenzie Gore had the worst start of his career. Mm-hmm. He only lasted 2.1 innings. He gave up 5 hits and 6 earned runs. That's terrible. He didn't have command of his curveball, and only thing he could throw was a fastball, and they apparently could read it. It was just, and nothing was hitting. It was really bad, and he was floating his curveball over the plate. But although we lost, I do have to give a shout out to Rhys Kaneer.
Oh yeah,
he came on and gave a 4 and a third innings shutout, just shut down the Rockies. Not to mention, Rocky hit a line drive back and hit him right in the chest, and he just took it like a champ, got back up and pitched 2 more innings of shutout baseball. I'm continuing to be impressed with Rhys Kaneer, and what's it going to take for him to be a permanent Padre? Because they brought him up and they sent him back down after this game.
pretty rough way to live, I think. But
I think so too. I think he should be our new long guy. We should replace him with Stammen. That's just me.
yeah,
Anyways, Sunday came around, and Blake Snell had a quality start. 6 innings pitched, and gave up 2 earned runs, and he struck out 7. The problem is the Padres lost that game 4-2. Blake Snell had everything, all the complaints about him his previous start. He's not hitting the zone. He's working slowly. This felt like Snell from last August. Yep. He was moving quickly. He was attacking the zone, and he gave up 2 earned runs. the Padres just couldn't bounce back. Luis Garcia gave up 2 runs, and the problem was, we mentioned in our previous week's roundup that there's a certain Rocky pitcher named Herman Marquez that for whatever reason just loves pitching against the Padres, and he proved it. He pitched 7 innings against us, only giving up 2 earned runs, and he is just a pesky hitter for us. But that's okay. We left San Diego to Chicago to play the Cubs, and the first game, Joseph,
Yes.
we won 4-1. Yu Darvish, 8 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, only giving up 1 run. Rogers got the save. Cronenworth got 3 hits. Machado got a couple hits. He ended this game with 1,499 hits, 1 away from 1,500. He's on the cusp of being the 17th player to reach 1,500 hits and 250 home runs before turning 30.
Incredible.
Interesting side note, all but 2 of those players that have done that are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they're not in the Hall of Fame is because they cheated. The next game, Sean Manaya did not pitch very well. He gave up 4. He only pitched 4 innings and gave up 5 runs. He just, again, nothing seemed to match. And the Padre killer, Kyle Hendricks, was on the mound. He pitched 5 innings and only gave up 1 run. But the Padres sort of wore, much like they wore out, the Rockies wore out Nick Martinez, we wore out Kyle Hendricks, and he had to leave in the 5th inning because he threw too many pitches. In which case, the Padres then had 12 unanswered runs. We won this game 12-5 in the biggest comeback of the year and the most runs we'd ever scored in a single game this year. In a single game, what they said? No, I read that stat wrong. Most unanswered runs we've ever hit this year.
Right.
Only player to not get a hit was Manny Machado. And he hit the bejesus out of the ball 3 times, and it just right at a Cub. And there's nothing you can do. And so we won 12-5. The Padres picked Manaya up, and it was great. The next game, Ryan Weathers was called up to start because of the doubleheader. They wanted to keep everyone at a 6-game rest rotation.
And Clevenger's on the COVID IL.
And Clevenger's on the COVID IL, so they decided bring Weathers up. He's not pitching well in AAA at the moment. He has an ERA of 7, but he has major league experience. So let's bring him up. And the answer to that question was he did not do well. He gave up 4 earned runs, which is not good, in less than 4 innings. But fortunately for us, the Cubs really aren't good, and we ended up scoring 19 runs and winning this game 19-5.
Oh my goodness.
It was literally a battle of which young pitcher could do worse. And their guy, Caleb Kellen, gave up 5 runs and their bullpen.
Very, very bad.
Very bad. Our bullpen shut them down. But on the plus side, Manny Machado did in fact get his 1,500th hit and 2 more hits just to round up. And I think Jeff Passons tweeted, at this rate, Machado will get his 3,000th by Sunday. And so everybody on the Padres got a hit this game. Everybody in the starting lineup got a hit and scored a run.
It's wild.
The 9th inning, the Cubs closed it out with their first baseman pitching, and which Luke Voigt hit a towering shot off of. It was kind of that was the craziest game. Most points we've scored all year. Game 8, Padres win 6-4. Joe Musgrove, 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, season high 9 strikeouts. we got to see, again, 2 great starts by Joe Musgrove this week. It's embarrassing how good he is this year. It really is. And he's the first Padre in history to have 12 starts, only giving up 2 or fewer runs in each. And the highlight of this game, I think, is Musgrove. Manny Machado got 3 more hits. Nomar Mazara got his first home run as a Padre. But you can't say enough about Joe Musgrove. You just can't. I think the record for the most starts with 2 or fewer runs in a row is 14. So he's 2 away for tying a major league record. And that's incredible. And that ends the week. The Padres sweep the Cubs. You and I were both correct in our prediction about 6-2. We both predicted that we were going to lose 1 to each team. And a funny thing, right after the Padres lost the second game to the Rockies, you texted me, well, our prediction only works if somehow we can sweep the Cubs. And I think the Padres heard you and were a bit disappointed that you felt that they couldn't do it, and they proved you wrong.
I'll wear it. I'll. You gotta catch some L's from time to time, you know. But Jane, what a fun week. What a, 8 games a lot. I feel like I'm worn out watching 8 games.
It's a lot of baseball to watch in 1 week.
Yeah. And I think what's been awesome to see this past week has been Jake Cronenworth's June is already great. This past week, he's been incredible. Luke Voigt has been awesome. The current leaders in RBIs for this month are Jake Cronenworth and then Luke Voigt.
Out of all of baseball.
And all of baseball.
Jake Cronenworth has 24 RBIs. Luke Voigt has 22 RBIs in all of baseball in June. And June's not even half over yet.
So that's really good. Jerickson Profar looking bad before, but he just would look like he's cooling off. And I don't think he's as red hot as definitely not as red hot as he started the season, but being pretty good on top of the lineup.
He's been consistent.
Yeah. And that makes a difference, right? When you have 3 guys who are getting extra base hits consistently, that will change baseball games, you know? And then you have Manny Machado being Manny Machado. Like we just brushed off the fact that his second hit was a home run his 1500th and first hit was a home run. But it's just like that's what you expect from Manny, to hit the crap out of the ball. He had a 2-hit game today. So you expect that from him. So, but you have Manny, you have guys that are hitting extra base hits around him. It's a recipe for lots of high scoring games, right? And that's what's been happening. And then you have great surprises. Nomar Mazara has been very consistent at the plate.
He's been hitting over 300 since he came up in the AAA. He got his first home run, but he's been getting doubles and RBIs and bloop hits and hit to opposite field. I think he's a real good addition to this team. When it talks about the offense, you can't. Everybody in our offense did well.
Right.
Alcantara got a couple of hits.
Right.
Ozakar got a couple of hits this week. The thing is, the Padres offense has been struggling all year.
Yep.
And the Rockies have always been a pesky team for us to play. Bud Black seems like he pulls extra stops to try to beat us.
Yeah.
Because he's bitter against us. I can't imagine why. But the offense is heating up, and it looks, they haven't said this, but just by the amount of starts, Jorge Alfaro had more starts this 8 games than Nola. And I think that's perfectly, I think Jorge Alfaro has proven himself the everyday starter. Yes,
he gets more hits. Just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. He can hit. And yeah, he struck out a ball that was at his face, but he also got 2 home runs during the Cubs series.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't, but he also can hit. He can get singles and doubles, and there's an extra threat of him at the plate.
And he also can run. Like, it feels like there's a lot going on with Alfaro that makes him that makes him a better option than Nola. Also, he can throw people out.
Yes.
Austin Nola has the weakest catcher arm in baseball. I have not looked that stat up, but I feel like it's right. And I feel like he's only thrown out one person this entire season.
He did. It was a delayed steal, and he threw the guy out.
It's unacceptable. But yeah, I think it was an incredible. I mean, Padres pitching was on point. Apart from Manaya and Weathers, I
mean, Gore as well against the Cubs.
Sure,
Rockies.
I guess it's true. Yeah, Gore at least to me was like Gore just looked. He just wasn't hitting his spots at all. Walked a ton of people. Almost every person he walked scored. But Manaya and Weathers, I feel like they just got beat by people going good swings on good pitches. Whereas Gore was just a complete meltdown.
Yeah, Weathers walked in 2 runs.
That's true. That's all bad, I guess.
I mean, the thing is, you and I both love Weathers.
Right.
He will always be a Padre legend, and I hope he turns it around. I hope Ruben Niebla saw something and was able to send him home with some homework when he went back to AAA. And the thing is, the most encouraging thing, other than the offense, was the great start by Blake Snell.
Oh yeah,
he was outpitched, and our bullpen let him down. But 7 innings, only giving up 2 earned runs. We'll take another quality starter. That's
right.
Incredible. If we can get that Snell for the rest of the year, that's what we've been waiting for.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think I really want to see this offense keep rolling like this. I want to see us keeping this offensive output because it landed us a half a game ahead of the Dodgers. We are now the first in the NL West.
We are the third team. We are the third team in Major League Baseball to hit 40 runs to win 40 games, and we are now 40. We have 41 wins of the season.
That's awesome.
And just because the way baseball works, we're only a half a game above the Dodgers. Even they only have 39 wins.
Right.
But they have fewer losses than us.
Yep.
Because they've played fewer games than us.
Yep. And that'll even out, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's a very good week in Padres baseball. It's exactly the kind of week that we expect if we want to be a great team, which is that we put the pedal to the metal to bad teams. And if we're a great team, we have to win against bad teams.
Exactly.
Which I feel like the next week also we must do the same thing.
Yeah. This next week we can't lose. In theory, we should be 6-0 when we come and talk again. Because the next 7 games we're playing 3 in Colorado and 3 in Arizona.
3 at home, 3 here at home. 3 in Colorado and 3 at Petco. But versus Arizona, yeah.
And then the Phillies come to town.
Yeah.
And the Phillies, as long as you hit the ball to left field, you should just win the game. And right field. And their center fielder sucks. So as long as you hit the ball in the air, Eric Hosmer, we should get runs.
James, what do you think about the next week in Padres baseball? 3 against Colorado at the Coors Field and 3 versus Arizona Diamondbacks at Petco Park.
Well, as we have mentioned before, playing in Colorado is attuned to playing on the moon.
Yep.
You can never predict it. Mackenzie Gore gets the first start tomorrow.
Martinez on Saturday and Snell on Sunday.
Snell pitched well in Colorado last year, and his stuff works well in Colorado because it's hard.
Yeah.
I think Martinez might pitch well, and if there's no reason why we shouldn't sweep the Rockies.
Except the two pitchers that dominated last week are pitching again.
I know, and here's what I thought. Because we made a big deal, I say we don't mention his name ever again.
Okay.
We don't say that particular Rocky pitcher's name until after the game.
Okay. Is that going to help them? Okay.
I don't know, Joseph. I don't know.
Okay. The Rockies series, to me, is the biggest question mark.
Because if the wind is blowing out of Coors Field,
Right.
every game could have 20 runs scored.
Oh, yeah.
But if we can shut them down, I think the Padres, this 6 games, should be 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah.
We lose each series. We lose one to each series.
I think so. I would actually, no, I'm going to say 5-1. I think we sweep the Diamondbacks.
Wow. I'm going to give you a little bit of a fun thing is that tomorrow, Denver, it's going to be a high of 99.
So that's. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, you can say two more things if you want.
All right. Okay. So there was once again there was bad weather.
Right.
In the first game of the series in Chicago was delayed almost 2 hours because of bad weather. And then they had their crazy Chicago weather where it was like 100 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was not 100 degrees. It still offends me. Why can't they put a roof up?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a tornado warning in the first game.
That's why. I understand it's an old baseball park and they didn't have roofs back then.
Right.
They didn't know how to build them. No buildings had roofs 100 years ago. That's a fact. But here's the thing. It just offends me every time I go. Our guys play in bad weather.
Yeah.
Environmentalists, tell me what it is. Do we need more global warming or less? If we need more global warming to fix this, I'll set my truck on fire. If we need less, I'll sell my truck and buy a bicycle. Tell me what we need to do because this nonsense has to stop. And Chicago, we know you're not spending money on police. Build a roof.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
So anyways, I'm always offended at bad weather.
Yeah.
That could just be Southern California bias.
Yeah. I think we're going to be 4-2, but we're going to drop 2 against the Rockies. I think this is our first time there this year. I feel like it's always the first series is awful for whomever because you have no idea how to. It's going to be 99 degrees tomorrow. The start time's at 7:40 their time.
So it's 5:40 our time.
Right. So it's still hot. It's still going to be hot there. And I just feel like it's going to be a disaster. I think those pitchers have pitched very well there. And yeah, I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, but I think we sweep it. We sweep the Diamondbacks at our home, and then we drop 2 against the Rockies.
Yeah, that's true. The one thing we haven't talked about is that we also lost Bob Melvin, Ryan Christensen,
Mike
Clevenger, and Adrian Marahone on Saturday and Sunday, all due to COVID.
Yeah.
Marahone's just came back. And he was reinstated this game. He didn't pitch, though. And then they sent Weathers back down. So hopefully we get Bob Melvin and Ryan Christensen back soon.
I mean, Ryan Flaherty has,
Mike Schilt flew out to Chicago to be our bench coach.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that I think is one of the most underrated things about the Padres is our management depth is so great.
Yep.
Bob Melvin, 3-time manager of the year. Mike Schilt won manager of the year, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Matt Williams, our third base coach, won manager of the year in 2016. We have a lot of great managers on our team to give aid when needed.
Yeah, I mean, I think weirdly enough, like we haven't felt it. I think we felt it more on Sunday's game.
Yes.
because Morejon should have pitched that game. Morejon's stuff plays super well, obviously, and Garcia probably wouldn't have given up the double to McMahon.
But Morejon was out with COVID at that point.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I feel like.
Oh, I was talking about management. Okay, I see what the mistake I made.
I was trying to say, like, we actually have done fairly well. Apart from that one situation, Sunday's game, I feel like we've been pretty good. We've been hitting the crap out of the ball and not needing. I mean, if a 4-game series against a better team, I think we would be talking about much different. Like, we would have started at the top with we lost all those guys because they were just. It'd be tough to have Weathers against a good team.
Yeah,
just would have been tough, But thankfully not. And another exciting week in Padres baseball, James. We're first in the West. When's the last time we were first in the West this deep in the season?
I don't know.
2014, maybe 2010,
probably. And the thing is, like, there was no doubt we'd have the best starting rotation in the National League.
Yeah,
I think we're the best starting rotation in all of baseball, but there's no writer that won't fawn over the Yankees.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that. I mean, we've said this before. It's like the most talented group of starting pitchers in Padres history. That's just the way it just is. You can't really tell me there's a better starting pitching staff than we have right now, especially from a pure talent perspective. Like, pure talent wise, it's just
talent wise, number wise, we've never had a better starting pitching rotation.
And then we're doing this all. We're first in the West without a top 3 player in baseball.
Yes. We're doing this
with questionable people in our lineup most days, right? We're doing this with a up until now, and even like I say up until now, but like center field and right field are not producing at the rate that we probably should, right? And we're doing all of that. And shortstop has not been producing. As obviously Tatis fixes that.
Yes,
but if you start looking at that, like, we're doing pretty well, and like I think sometimes Padres fans get too, and rightfully so. They don't let themselves enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, like, be happy about where the team's at, because we've all seen this kind of team. We've all seen the team collapse.
Well, that's just it. The Padre fans are still really hurt from the collapse of last year.
Oh yeah, very hurt. Scarred even. But, a scar is what's a scar to a Padre fan, dude?
I know, right?
Oh, another one? Okay.
Any Padre fan that watched the Padres between 2010 and 2017 has had plenty of scars.
James. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Thank you so much for your listenership. And until next time, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is! Oh, doctor! You can hang a star on that, baby!